Up and at it early this morning. Had to be because it is very cold. Definitely down in the 30s again. And here's kind of the lay of land for the day. My pack is really light because I've only got a day and a half worth of food left. And I'm carrying very little water. Got water about 3 miles up ahead. I won't have to carry much water at all today. Really, there's good water along the way, so that means I'll have a nice light pack. After I get my water this morning, I'll have about 5 miles to this visitor center for this kind of tourist place where they have an ice cave in one spot, and then you go to the other cave and it's super hot. And anyway, I'm not gonna go to those things. I've been to those before, that exact thing years ago, driving through on I-40. But I am gonna cut across the visitor center and probably, well, definitely fill up water there and maybe grab a snack while I'm there or something. A bunch of that's gonna be road walking. But anyway, then when I leave that center, I'll be road walking some more. And I can't remember if I mentioned this yesterday or not, but I've kind of realized that that whole canyon kind of alternate that I'm taking is all a road walk as well, even though it's in these canyons. So I'm still going to do it, but I'm a little bummed about that. And I'll have to find a place to tent down there, and I'm a little concerned about, not knowing what that's like. Sometimes roads are difficult, like the other day. And the issue that I kind of have is, which happens all the time, is that I've got about 44 miles to Grants from here. Maybe 45. So, wow, it's cold. My hands are freezing. So, if I do 22 and a half miles each day, today and tomorrow, then I can slide into Grants tomorrow night. And, then just take, stay the night and take a 0 day the next day and then head out the next day, which would be very efficient. But can I do 22 and a half miles each day? It's supposed to be hotter today than it was yesterday. No clouds, no chance of rain. There's not a cloud in the sky. And then hotter tomorrow than it is today. How am I going to do that if it's even worse than it was yesterday? So there's some chance that I'll just, do a short day today, short day tomorrow, short day the next day, get into Grants, and have, a 3/4 of a day off, and then take another 0, day the next day, which I kind of hate to do. But it does seem likely that might be how it works out, so see how the day unfolds. I'm still feeling the incremental improvements in my fitness. This morning, it's the first time that I was able to just get up and just power. Just hike up steep things, down steep things, not stop, and just go for 20, 30 minutes, no matter what was in front of me, to warm myself up. That's a key thing to be able to do. Get up and just wear your regular shirt and shorts, even when it's freezing, and just hike hard enough to warm yourself up. And I was finally able to do that. Not saying it was easy, but I was able to. So that's a good sign. It's a good thing. The unfortunate thing is, we got maybe another, 8 days out here. So by the time I'm ready to get off the trail, I'll just be ready to start hiking the right way. See the water cache up there glinting in the sun. All right. Right back there was the water cache. And now I am on this County Road 42. And I will be on this or some other road, I believe, all the way to Grants. I'm not sure there will be another trail that I will walk on. So, you know, hey, my feet have been feeling great. Yesterday, about a third of the way through the day, all of a sudden they just stopped hurting. And I don't know if it was, you know, the nerves in the bottom of my feet are dead or my brain just started learning how to ignore the pain, or more likely, I just haven't been hiking on roads for a couple of days. So maybe that's going to return, unfortunately. But anyway, it's been nice. And this road is actually hard to remember back, but when I was walking on that highway for a short distance, and then I finally got ready to turn onto the Continental Divide Trail a couple days ago, that road that I turned onto was actually this County Road 42. And I just walked on it for a couple hundred feet or something, and then or not even, and then it went straight into a trail. Well, this is the same road, and it's kind of been, you know, roughly paralleling from quite a distance the trail this whole time. And for instance, the bicyclists that I saw the other day that are doing the Great Divide Trail, which is a different trail from the Continental Divide Trail, this is what they rode on instead of the trail that I was walking on. So they've all been through here. I've now kind of curved around and walking back into the El Malpais conservation area. Or actually, maybe the other part was actually the national monument. And so this is a conservation area, which, you know, I don't really know exactly what the difference is, but there you go. It's one of the biggest hares I've seen out here. Almost thought it was a little baby onyx or something when I first saw it. I'm getting close to the Bandera Volcano and Ice Cave Visitor Center and area. But you wouldn't really know it by looking at all these trees and everything, except right over there, behind the trees, you can see a huge lava flow that came down. So, not far up here, maybe half mile, I'll cross one of those lava flows and I'll have to head across it to get to the visitor center. All right up here is where I'm going to cross this flow, and I don't see the visitor center, but it's kind of at the base of that mountain back there. One of the volcanoes. It should be kind of right over there. And the deal is you cross it, you cross this, and then You should kind of just meet up with a trail, kind of a local hiking trail or something. Going across here is definitely not part of the CDT. CDT is continuing down this county road around that mountain and coming in on a drive that goes to the visitor center, but that's a long way around and, you know, boring. So I'm going to try this. I've been walking around here trying to figure out what's maybe the best way, and I'm not at all sure, but I think I'm gonna head in right over here. So looks to me like I'm gonna have to be pretty careful. All right, I'm definitely not gonna be videoing all this because I need my balance on all this loose stuff. I'll video a little bit of the beginning here. I think I just have to be very deliberate, place my feet, make sure things aren't too loose, breakable or something before I put all my weight on them. So just take my time. Okay, I'll be back. Well, I've gone well over 30 yards, which is what the info said, but there was a lot of conflicting info. So I don't know. I know I'm heading towards the visitor center, so I'll just keep going this way, but I'm supposed to pick up some trail eventually. But look at this out here. I mean, where do you think a trail is? I'll tell you what, I have seen a couple of places where it's hollow way down in, which is a little scary. That means there's some kind of lava tubes under here, you know, and not sure how safe that is. Be hiking on. Maybe no problem at all. I don't know. Well, this is what I've come across. And the visitor center somewhere over there or something. So I'm going to go back this way and go up the high route and see if I can get way over there. All right, I hate to admit this, but I'm giving up on that. I think that's the wrong thing. I think maybe if I had gone way that way down around the canyon, that would have taken me in, but it's not at all clear if that's ever actually going to get me anywhere. And I've been wandering around out here for as long as it would have taken me to hike the couple of miles around. So anyway, it's fun playing around out here, but just wasted time, and I need to get where I'm going and make my miles today. I don't need to waste time, so all right. Not only was that a colossal waste of time, my feet are killing me. Sore as they've been anyway, it really hurts to walk around on that stuff. And I mean, I walked around on it for, I don't know, 3 football fields at least. Okay, well, a little fun. Never hurt anybody. Well, there's the entrance to the ice cave and Bandera volcano, the land of fire and ice. And I am skipping that because not only did I waste a half hour out there walking around, but I, lost a mile and a half I would have hiked, and my feet are mangled. They hurt so bad. I'm wondering what that's going to mean for later today. So I'm just going to hike as much as I can right now before it gets even hotter. Well, I wanted to go to the Ice Cave Visitor Center just to see it, maybe grab a soda or something, and that's where I would get my water at. But there's more water about 3 miles down here, and I've got a liter left, so I'll be fine. Just do that, makes more sense. This highway sure is hot and busy. most of the highway's been about like this, where I've got a little flat bit I can do up here. I can walk on, but when cars come by, I mean, they're right there. So I kind of scoot down here and stop. A couple places it's been a little wider, which has been nice. And then quite a few places it's been just steep straight down on the side. So I just walk up here, which hurts my feet worse, but at least I can walk. And then if a car comes, I just have to come and kind of just stop and try to hold myself so I don't slide down into the ditch. Not a super safe scenario, or not the best part of the CDT for sure. Yeah, baby. All right, now this is the proper way to cross a fence. So that was some super cool kid named Gabe. He's a firefighter here for El Malpais. Anyway, really nice kid. I'll talk about him here in a second. Anyway, this is the visitor center, which I guess is kind of permanently closed, so I don't know what the deal is with that, but the trail runs right through here, and there's a spigot that we're allowed to use. So I just doused my whole self in water and cooled off and filled up my bottles and ready to go. Now the reason that I'm going back out this direction instead of following the trail is because I'm doing that Zuni Bonita Canyon alternate. So I got to go back out here and follow this highway down. And it'll take me to a parking area where there's a water cache. And I'll get that, and then I'll head off another 5 miles and down the Bonita Canyon Road and try to find a place to tent. So anyway, yeah, Gabe, he was super nice. He offered me some power bars, energy bars, and he said he had some cold fruit in there, and I was like, I appreciate it. It sounds great actually, but I've got to get going if I'm going to do my miles today, and so to limit my miles tomorrow so I can actually get into town tomorrow night instead of having to spend another night out. So anyway, he was telling me all sorts of things about the area and how the firefighting gig works, and right now there's a pretty high fire risk, and so they're just sitting around looking, watching, waiting for something to pop up. I guess they apparently get paid more if there's, if they put out fires. So they're kind of all sort of hoping that something, not too dangerous pops up so they can make a couple bucks. But that's the other thing is, if there's not much going on, if there's not much risk, then they will go out of state and help other places. So they're kind of hoping that a little bit of rain comes in this next week and calms things down, and that way they won't need to be here and they can go where there's definite fires and make a little money. So anyway, it was a super nice, real young kid. I don't know how old he was, but he seemed really young. Very, very helpful. Okay, I'm already tired. I'm gonna stop talking. Walk 6 miles. Wow, that was a long, hard walk. That highway. But there's a picnic table. Unfortunately, bright in the sun. And water, water, water. So, yeah, maybe a place to dump my trash. Yeah, so I'm gonna sit down and have lunch and rest and drink up. I took the umbrella right when I turned on the camera. I might not even be able to leave this thing up. It's blowing so hard. I don't want to get it ripped in half. Anyway, just walking out here from this little kind of rest stop thing where the water cache was. I spent a really long time at. Kind of recovering from the heat and everything. Talking to a couple people, a couple guys that came in. Anyway, I'm just really, the highway's almost right here. I'm just going to cross the highway and right onto Bonita Road, and then I'll be getting started down Bonita Canyon. And, you know, I'll just get another maybe, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 miles today, hopefully. And then call it a day and do the rest tomorrow. Bye. Okay, so just crossed the highway, just entering in, and I'll be heading back into there. I feel like it's just a tad too early to stop, but this is the first good looking tenting area I've seen so far. When I get up here closer to it, I'll see if it continues on, or I might just stop here. I'm not really sure how much more I have in me today. I just calculated it, and I've gone about 22 miles, which is a lot for me today, right now. Especially considering I really did the equivalent plus of about 1.5 miles out there in that lava flow earlier. So, yeah. And I've got exactly 20 miles into town tomorrow. So, that's less than today. That's good. And I won't make any stupid mistakes and hike on lava flows tomorrow. So, it'll be a hard day, but it shouldn't be harder than today. It's all road walking, but there's no highway walking. I don't know. I think I might end up staying right here. And you probably already figured that out.